We saw last month that Microsoft made a huge move by making some pretty significant changes to Game Pass, Xbox's subscription model for games. And, well, they kind of did it quietly, and some people still don't really even know what changed. Now, Game Rant was nice enough to put this together last month, and they put it out there, and some people still aren't aware that there were these changes. I myself didn't even know that these changes were taking place. My kids, who are avid gamers, didn't know that this was taking place. They didn't even send out emails from what I understand. I haven't seen any emails come through. Have you? Well, here I wanted to kind of talk about these changes that have taken place in regards to Game Pass, as well as some additional changes that could be coming up, because this is going to hurt your pocketbooks in a time where prices just continuously go up. You know, is the value of Game Pass really worth it at this point? With games being as, well, bad as they've been, is it really worth the value? So here we're taking a look at what Game Pass has been. You see the previous price right here at the top. Again, this is from Game Rant. They did an excellent job putting this together. In the previous price, you had the Game Pass Core, which was the basic tier of Game Pass. You then had the Game Pass for console, the Game Pass for PC, and then the Game Pass Ultimate. Since the change, there is now a new kind of tier added in there called Game Pass Standard. Now, the prices were $9.99 for the core, or $60 a year. The Game Pass for console is $10.99 a month. The Game Pass for PC, which was essentially the same thing as core, $9.99 a month. And the Ultimate was $16.99 a month, which wasn't all that bad. Kind of the issue that I always had with it is that you had to pay it by month. You didn't really have that yearly subscription, which Xbox Live was always known for and was really nice. But you had to pay that monthly fee, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, right below it, you do see the new pricing here. The Game Pass Core has jumped up either $9.99 per month or $74.99 per year. That's absurd. Now, there's no change for existing members for Game Pass for console. However, Game Pass for console has kind of gone away. That is going to be going away from what I understand. It's turning into that Game Pass Standard, which is becoming $14.99. So if you're a current Game Pass for console subscriber, eventually that is going to be going away, but you are being grandfathered in for the time being. So if you're not a current Game Pass for console subscriber, you're not going to get it. You're going to be put into this Game Pass Standard, which is $14.99. The Game Pass for PC is jumping up to $11.99, and Game Pass Ultimate, which is really the best deal, was the best deal, I should say, is now $19.99. What do you get with all this stuff? Well, that's the thing. The Ultimate, you get everything. You get more than 100 games for console and PC, Studios, Xbox Studios same-day releases, streaming game library, online multiplayer, EA Play membership, Microsoft Store discounts. You get all of that. That's great. The big game this year, the Call of Duty game that's coming out this year, you get day and date with the Ultimate. That is fantastic. The Game Pass for PC, you get some of that. You don't get online multiplayer because it's not really available, because that's kind of weird with the PC stuff. You don't get a streaming game library, and you only get the games that are available for PC. Okay. Now with the Game Pass Standard, you get more than 100 games console only. Again, not PC games, only consoles. You get same-day releases. No, you don't. You don't get Xbox Studios same-day releases on Game Pass. So the games that come out same date and date, you don't get to play them on Game Pass. So what's the point of having Game Pass then? You don't get a streaming game library. You do get to play online games. You don't get the EA Play membership, but you do get some Microsoft. So this is basically just Xbox Live. That's what it's become. So they've gone back to just making Xbox Live, which is absolutely ridiculous. because the whole idea was to like, hey, we got Game Pass. Game Pass is the future. We're going to get rid of Xbox Live and put everybody into this Game Pass. And, well, now we're going to get rid of you being able to play games day and date like they used to under the Xbox Game Pass for console, which you no longer get. It's ridiculous. It's a bad move by Microsoft. It's not very smart of them at all. Now, with all of that, there are some changes that could be on the way. Because not only is it now going to cost more to get all this that you're getting already, it's bumping up. Everything's bumping up in price. You know, all the streaming services, Disney Plus, Netflix, Paramount, Peacock, what have you, it's all bumping up in price. But now they're going to be possibly adding more tiers and possibly eventually going to have the prices jump up again. You see, Game Rant is saying even more Game Pass tier changes may be on the horizon, including a cloud-only plan. According to a new report from a known Microsoft insider, the purported tweaks are understood to be part of an effort to help Xbox Game Pass reach new audiences worldwide. Now, back in mid-July, we just talked about the quietly announced, like I said, it was quiet. I didn't even hear about it until like a week ago. That's ridiculous. A whole month after it was announced, I didn't hear about it. And I'm a Game Pass member, and I didn't even get subscriber. I didn't even get an email or anything about it. I've looked at my emails. I got nothing. The company also opted to eliminate 1099 monthly. Okay, we just went over all that. Possibly working on cloud-only Game Pass tier. The Game Pass changes materialize for foreseeable future. One of them is supposedly a cloud-only tier that's meant to be more affordable than the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is currently priced at $20 a month. He did not offer a timeline for when this new tier of the service might see the light of day. So what is it going to be? Like, you could just go on and you can play games through the cloud? That hasn't been working out yet. I mean, it's a good idea and concept, but I haven't seen it working yet. I've tried it out. I've tried to play games through the cloud. It works okay. If you have a strong enough internet connection, it works okay. But it's not quite there yet. They're also talking about bringing back a family plan, which they tried once before. It was okay. I had it at one point. You have to it just was just too confusing. Like, you have to have, you know, the head Xbox was here, and then the family Xboxes you had to have on the same network, or they couldn't play the same game at the same time. It was really weird how it worked, and I didn't like it. Maybe they'll tweak it. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. But Xbox is doing some quirky things after spending billions of dollars on all these studios. They now have to make some of that money back. And games are just not living up to the hype that they've been trying to live up to. Games are not as good as they should be. And fans aren't spending the money on the games. Are fans going to continue spending the money on Game Pass? Is it still worth the money that it was a few months ago? Heck, I've been considering getting rid of it because, one, I don't have the time to play. Two, the games aren't worth it that are coming out. They're just not that good. My kids, the top 3 games are Roblox, Fortnite, and Minecraft. All 3 games have been out for the better part of a decade or more. Why are the top 3 games that? And why aren't they new games? That tells you something. But let me know your thoughts on all of this. Are you kind of upset about these changes? Do you think they're going to make new changes and do more tiers to make it more confusing for people? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.